Hello everyone. Today's video, as you probably know, will be about Eons Elites. I'm going to be talking about why I think they released them, what do they do in the game, and I'm just going to be giving my personal thoughts as to why I think each specific figure was released. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. So, Eons Elites were figures released in Trap Team and Superchargers that were re-released Skylanders from Spyro's Adventure. The first wave of Elites in Trap Team featured 8 new Skylanders, and the second wave had featured 6. Each element was represented twice except for air and fire, which only got figures in Trap Team and not in Superchargers for an unknown reason, which I would most likely pin to time constraints, as usually Skylanders was always in rush. I'm pretty sure Trap Team was only in development for like less than a year, which is an insanely little amount of time to develop an entire giant game. And anyway, why do I think that they released them? Well, honestly, I don't really know. I thought about it for a long time as to a reason that they could have released the figures, and honestly, nothing really makes sense to me. It wasn't really celebrating an anniversary for Spyro's Adventure or Skylanders. It didn't give the figures new poses, in the Trap Team ones at least. They did give them in Superchargers, but I can honestly only really think of one good explanation as to why they released them, and that's money. Obviously, we know Activision loves money, and releasing new figures and pricing them at more than the regular ones cost is a good way to get some money. The Eons Elites are, however, super powerful figures. They deal tons of damage, and they have a significant boost in health. Another thing that I figured that could be a reason as to why they released them is to give you a better edge against enemies in later games with some of your favorite figures. As the Skylanders games progressed, Skylanders' health got more and their attack damage got more as the new figures were released, and that left some of the old figures with less health and less damage. So having these really powerful old figures that you had do great damage helps you use them better in battle. It also was to make more cash, and that's the reason. We all know it. It's not really a surprise. In the first wave of Eons Elites, the figures all came in a really cool display case. I mean, they came in a display case for both waves, but they came in a display case which featured their element, a cool little background, which all actually combined to make one big picture, and their name, which would be like something like Elite Spyro or Elite Terrafin. The figures themselves were shiny and improved paint jobs on the original figures with gold bases. And I really like the figure designs. If you really get to see them up close and compare them to their original figures, they had a lot more like glint and shine to them and really improved the designs. They cost, I think, $25, which is a lot more expensive, basically 2 times as expensive as original figures. And in the second wave of Eons Elites, they all introduced a different pose with basically their main primary attack weapon having a cooler design. So like, for example, Boomer's bombs were a lot bigger and Voodoo's axe was larger, stuff like that. Next, we're going to be talking about my personal thoughts on the Eons Elites. Now, as a collector, and not having barely any, and just have started my Eons Elite collection, I really appreciate that they released them, because first of all, it's a great homage to the Spyro's Adventure figures, which I have had for years and years at this point. And I really appreciate them now. Back in the day, I really didn't understand them, and I guess I still kind of don't, but I can appreciate them for sure. Overall, I would say definitely positive on the Eons Elites. I think that they're pretty cool. Now let's talk about why I think each specific figure got released. With all of the original 8 Eons Elites, I believe they were made into Eons Elites because they were the most popular from their element. I mean, just look at the roster. We had Whirlwind, Gill Grunt, Terrafin, Stealth Elf, Trigger Happy, Chop Chop, Eruptor, and Spyro. If you're going to tell me that these aren't the most popular of each of the elements, I mean, I think that you're probably just biased towards what your favorites are. You can even look past what your favorites are and just admit that, I mean, let's all know that they were the most popular from their element. Now on to the second batch of Eons Elites from Superchargers. I think that they did the exact opposite as the original. With these 6 figures, they were some of the most forgotten in SSA. 4 out of the 6 of them never released a repose, and the other 2 that did have reposes only had one in Giants, and the other one who didn't get a repose in Giants got a light core in Swap Force, so it was a more recent repose than the other ones. That was being Whamshell and Camo getting light cores, and Zook and Slamban becoming elites. I would also like to speculate that Lightning Rod and Sunburn would be the two characters to get elites in the air and fire elements in Superchargers. Obviously, this is just speculation and there's no confirmation towards this, but I would like to think that because they also did not get re-released into reposes in any of the recent games, aka Swap Force. Anyway, in conclusion, Eon Elites are pretty cool. I'm growing my Eons Elite collection as I only have 4 out of 8 of the original released in Trap Team and 3 out of 6 in Superchargers. So hopefully I'll be getting the other ones soon. They're basically the biggest collection that I have left to complete in my Skylanders collection, at least the figures I'm going to be collecting. Thanks for watching this video, as always. I hope you gained something from it, because that's always what I try to. Anyway, I'm going to see you all soon, and actually possibly live, because I'm going to start doing occasional live streams here and there, and I'm going to announce in the near future when that is going to happen. Anyway, I'll see ya.